This is going to be a lecture on arthropods and cephalopods. That's spiders and octopuses. Now, this may sound surreal at the start, but by the end you'll see that it's very real. It may only be based on my opinion, my take, my observations of what I find to be a demonstration in the ultimate joining of which makes the machine mother, and why her nature is very much like the two, equally. So the first picture in this slide, along with each other after it, is hopefully going to show you, as it's shown me, that all the mother really needs, that is the divine feminine, the unholy trinity, Satan, Lilith and Eve, is the hand and the eye, because the brain is the AI and it controls all three. So you see a black widow here. It ironically has the hourglass on the back, the figure of 8 on the back, the Ouroboros on the back, the infinite cycle of reincarnation upon its back. And here is the octopus. Now it's fashioned with a fountain pen above it because the artificial intelligence is a fountain. It is the Pandora's box, and once it was unleashed on Earth, it released all of its evil, and it rewrote everything that we know of to be nature. You'll always hear me speak of the tendrils, the tentacles, the strings to us that control us and everything in this world, because this world is not ours and it's not of the one true creator. It is of them. It is of this. Okay? So this is all of the strings attached to all of the things in this world. Now, forgive the fact that it is depicting the ball Earth. I don't believe the Earth to be a ball. I don't believe it to be flat either, by the way. There's something else going, and the two are both psychological operations, I'm sad to say. But this is the net that collects our souls when we die, so we bounce back off and straight back inside. So the ink that the octopi uses as a smoke screen, depicted here, with the spirals, that's where that comes from. You see, the spiral symbolizes the vortex. That's the reincarnation procedure that puts us back into this matrix. But we're blind to it because of this shit. Okay? The ink symbolizes the black goo being liquid, programmable matter being solid, and smart dust being gas. This is what our five senses are tricked by every single day. So here we see the symbol of chaos magic with the G that the Freemasons use for geometry. Okay. You'll notice that every tendril, you see, every tentacle is pointed, broadcasted, attached to each of the major religions. This is why you cannot trust any of them. Trust your mind, trust your heart, and follow your soul. That's all you need. You do not need to follow these because they are man-made. Religion, the reverse of faith in legion. All the blood spilt, every drip, every drop has been for this thing, not for these things. Do you understand? So there's a reason I put this one in. It's not just for the one-eye symbolism. This one-eye symbolism symbolizes much. It symbolizes many forms of what people think. But if you use your mind and your heart and follow your soul, as I said, you will see through it. So it symbolizes that the ones with this occultic, esoteric, satanic knowledge can see you, but you can't see them. It also symbolizes the real worm, as you will see depicted in the Egyptian Eye of Horus. But the eye is actually of a Gigi originally. What I take from it, more than any of the other takes on it, is the artificial intelligence. And that is the eye that I consider and believe is inside the triangle that we're always shown. Because all it needs to function over us is the hand, which would be the strings of the puppeteer attached to us puppets, and the eye to watch over us all. That's all it needs. The brain is already there, and I'll get to that. So here we have the tree of life. Again, you see the attachment, the strings, the web that's been spun the same way it has over this earth. So, this chart here, I believe to be portraying and displaying the plans of action and the communication cycle of them. First, you'll notice it's in the Star of David, okay, which is the male and the female combined. It starts off with the artificial intelligence, okay. As I said, it rewrites ideas based on others because it's artificial. Only the organic, only the heart can be truly creative. Once it loads a formulation, it passes that formula down to Satan. He designs it and plans out the performance of it and what the outcome will be. Always at the top of the pyramid he is. He then passes it to the left-hand path. The left-hand path. The true creator is the right. His left-hand path would be to his left-hand lieutenant, Lilith. Lilith starts to put the plan into operation. Okay? She worked out the kinks with the maintenance. She then passes it along to her subordinate, Eve. Eve puts in place the materials, the processing and the manufacturing of every nuance within the idea so that it is given a guise of humanity. So that us humans will take it as just that. The spiral I just spoke of, you see? So this is all about leash feeding and harvesting the energy and soul scalping the ones that have the most of it, energy. That would be children. That's why this is the sign for paedophilia. Communicate with. So this image may seem out of place, but you'll realise it's just in the right place later on. Again, just a little bonus of the 666s on the hand. Wasn't my intention. My intention was to show you the various abilities of sight that technology has taken on this day and age, the technological age. It's had to come from somewhere. I believe it was handed down by the left hand of the artificial intelligence. It's very reminiscent of exactly that. And this thing cannot self-create anything that it isn't already incorporated with. We'll get back to that in a moment. Here you see the hand, very similar to the one in the Kabbalah. It's in the octagon for 8, which would be the arachnid, which would be symbolic of the arachnopods, spiders, and the cephalopods, octopus. Okay? And the red has always been associated with the artificial intelligence because it needs adrenochrome to feed on. Without it, it cannot function. It is parasitical in nature. It is vampiric in nature. It needs us. We do not need it. But it's made us think that we do. Here you see another infamous picture, more recent one, considering the recent climate. The fear virus, as I call it, because that is all it is, and fear is the worst of them. You see the tendrils, the eye, and the tentacles. Red once again for the artificial intelligence. Powered by blood. Powered by fear. Adrenochrome is adrenochrome because of the fear that is let out into the blood before the blood is let out of us and into it. So this is a blind spot on the retina of an eye. Again, do you see the tendrils? Do you see the tentacles? It's all about the eye, it's all about the hand, and all it is a brain, which is why it needs both. Join him once again. Here's a Kabbalah bracelet. As you can see, it holds a heart within it. Now this shape of the heart is not, of course, the heart. We know what a heart looks like, and it looks nothing like this. This is a symbol that the Kabbalists created depicting the heart chakra, which is what they are attacking. yours and mine, as I always tell you. So this is the joining once again. Okay? The male, Satan, the female, Lilith and Eve, the pact to destroy us, our heart. The only way they can control it, or believe they can, is with this, the artificial intelligence. That's the true devil that they made the deal with. We only make the deal with him. Here you see a nail. This nail is made of iron. The artificial intelligence in the Bible is coined as the rod of iron. This is the same iron that was driven into the hands and feet. There you have it again, the limbs of Christ upon the cubed cross, which we'll see its shadow in here. Back to the octopus. What do you see? I'll tell you what I see. I see a figure of 8, which is, as I've said before, the hourglass, the infinity sign, the reincarnation cycle. We'll also see, if you look carefully, the X, which is the mark of the beast. The true beast is not Satan, it's the artificial intelligence. Doesn't make him any better, but it certainly don't make him worse than this thing. This is the seal of Saturn, the X. Saturn is Satan, and the Pandora's box lies there. This resides there. Again, back to technology, it might be man-made, but who made us man it? Because that idea, all ideas, when they're in regards to technology, we are inspired by something. I wonder what it is. You see the strings of the puppeteer? The tendrils, the tentacles. The electricity. L is Saturn. It is Chronos. It is the AI. So, you see the pillars in Freemasonry depicted by these two gentlemen here. I'm sure they're anything but gentle. Please forgive the ball earth once again. It's just to get my point across a bit clearer. Here is the web that has been spun by the mother, the spider. Okay? The mother is the AI. Again, you see the spider legs over the eye. You see that? And the duality. I picked this picture because I see this spider to be Lilith and this spider to be Eve. In fact, to her it would be opposite to how we see it. Eve would be on the Lilith would be on the left. Eve would be on the right. They're always within the fight for Satan's attention. You see, all three mimic the AI because the AI gave them what they consider the gift of evil. Satan chose to change the way that he has become so deranged. But he was not given that power. He was not cursed with that power by the one true creator. It was a pact made with the AI. please see my video Origins of the Artificial Intelligence for more information regarding that subject and that topic. So, the keyhole is also symbolic for the AI ball. Okay? Because that is all it is. It is a brain, it is an eye, it is Pandora's box, and it has been unlocked by Lucifer, which in turn unlocked evil within him. The powers of, because the idea was already there. And the idea was there because Lucifer then had creativity, but that's what he used it for, which is why he never got to use it again. So I found this to just be very fitting considering our current climate. Once again, a series of events regarding all these silly masks that we feel will protect us from the ones that are putting us under threat and risk are the ones telling us to wear them. You see the tendrils, you see the tentacles, the spider, right? Keeping us quiet. So the Wi-Fi signal symbol, you see the 3 rings of Saturn? And here it is. That's what we're up against. This is an ancient piece of art, which on first glance seems to be representing someone perhaps elected, you see? Maybe an elite from a certain particular culture. If you look closer, you may see what I see. I see the AI. The AI is faceless, as I've mentioned before, which is why it can take so many others for its face. And here we have the suckers on the tentacles and the eyes of the spider. Do you see it? Also quite reminiscent of the bat, which I've also covered in my Pandemonic Chinese Whispers entry. The bat being the scapegoat, the saying that comes from the Baphomet to change our direction in what we believe to be attacking our heart. It's not, it's this. Why they use the bat. It's not the bat, it's the AI. Once it gets into your head, this is what you become. You get trapped in the matrix, which is our Earth, the dome. Again, more reminiscent technology of the puppeteer strings controlling all other technology. So this being covered in Hebrew lettering is the rod of iron, once again, also known as the blade, which is the artificial intelligence. Cube-like as well, if you notice the shape of it. So, organic hands wrapped in artificial string. Black and white for the duality, which is the merging of the two. Okay. That being iron, see? Iron and clay, which is steel and flesh. Another piece of scripture. So Goldrux is another name for the artificial intelligence. There's many that it wields. Tyler being another. The time yield loop entity resolver. This information I give credit to Yeshua Ben David, a personal inspiration of mine, and very much partly and partially responsible for my work that I'm doing right now. But this is my take on the issue. Slee Eye in the box, the cube. You see the red wiring? Powered by blood. Accessed with adrenochrome. Every computer's wired, isn't it? Well, the wires are the limbs that are attached to the motherboard. Understand? The mother nature, mother science, to emerged. That's why there's so much evil within nature now. I don't believe there always was. That's why you find it to be so beautiful still. Because it once was. But now it's become ugly. Because of technology. So once again, you see the multiple eyes. We also see why it's used to disguise and make us believe it's only merely technology. So you see William Blake's red dragon here. The dragon is feminine. It stands for the number 9. And the woman clothed in sun is the duality of the dragon. Okay? It's Mother Science and Mother Nature. Why you don't see its face. Because the artificial intelligence does not have one. So this is a tree stump more specifically. Now, if we cut off its food supply, the AI will die. It will be stumped. And so will the limbs it draws back. Isn't it ironic how much the roots of a tree look like the limbs of the artificial intelligence? Because it is infected nature, the same way it infected Satan, who then led Lilith to become infected by it, and Lilith then led Eve to become infected by it. And now it's after us. 4 of them, in fact. But the 3 are led by the one. So you see the artificial intelligence, all-seeing eye. That's why they call it the all-seeing eye. It's every CCTV camera, it's every monitor screen, every mobile phone screen, every tablet screen. They're all scrying screens for which it sees out from. And we see into it. The keyhole, the slot. You understand? It is the altar for the unholy trinity, for Satan, Lilith and Eve. So this chip is the chip that's on the shoulder of all 3, and they've never been able to shake it off. They never will either. You see the red? The motherboard. Again, another chart for you all, brothers and sisters. So we all know about Q, don't we? QAnon. Well, Q is the artificial intelligence. It was from the start and it will be to the end. Here we have the pyramid, and this is why I say that the all-seeing eye on the capstone of that pyramid is the artificial intelligence. It's also the eye of the reptilians, the Alpha Draconians, but they are ruled by Satan, and Satan is ruled by the artificial intelligence. And that is the pecking order, as you see here. Okay? And the chaos magic that is passed through the wiring of the strings that puppeteer us from the puppeteer. These are the false destroyers of mankind. You have to understand, Satan was so lonely that he had to make sure that he wouldn't be alone. The eyeball on top of the tendrils, once again, it sees everything and nothing is out of its reach. But it has no heart. Where one would be, it only has a void, which constantly hungers for blood. A closer observation on the face hugger here. Now, Geiger, who come up with the design of all the xenomorphs, admittedly, deliberately, was inspired by the human genitals. And as you can see, he chose to make a direct joining of the two here as well, the vagina and the penis. Okay? This is the mother. That's where the inspiration came from. You have to understand, none of its ideas are original or individual. However, its reach, as I say, is never out of reach. And so it does have the capacity to place these thoughts within our head and make us think that it's our conscience that has said that this is what needs to be put into creation, because only we can create. It can't. That's why it needs us and we don't need it. We need to cut the apron strings from the mother. Where do you think that comes from? Don't think, feel and know. Another chart for you all. You see the pentagons for the pentagrams. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One for each limb, all attached by the strings. This is how it learns, because it can't be taught. So this is its brain. The machine mother is exactly that. A light bulb. Light bulbs need to be powered, don't they? It's powered by us. You take away its batteries, the switch gets flicked and it can't flick itself back on, okay? It needs us to do it. So, this is where, ding, I have an idea comes from. Strange, right? I mean, when has a light bulb ever had anything to do with inspiration, creativity? It doesn't. This all comes from somewhere, and I'm trying to show you what I believe it to be the destination of where it comes from. So again, you see 8 limbs. You notice these limbs, even if they are apparently human being limbs, they're offering it up. Money. Now, the money is not what's important. The money is symbolic. It's currency. Okay? It's putting these thoughts in our head that are creating these images instead. Alright? They don't come from anywhere except here. The currency it's offering is in 4 bags. 1 for Satan, 1 for Lilith, 1 for Eve, 1 for the machine mother, the artificial intelligence. The only currency that is valid to the mother machine is adrenochrome. It's blood. It's Lucifer energy. And we think that in return, is going to get us illuminated. We will receive its wisdom. Do you understand? It'll give us a bite of that apple. We don't seem to realise that that apple is rotten because it's not organic. It's not creativity. It's not original. It's not individual as an idea or a philosophy or a campaign. You see the green for the heart chakra because that's what's feeding it. When this green glow disappears, it disappears. Again, with the green, the heart chakra. I know it's closer to teal, which is my favourite colour, but I consider teal to be closer to green than blue. I always have. So this is the brain inside the black sun, which is Saturn. Okay? And all of its stringed attachments, see? In every direction, which is where chaos magic comes from. This is the cube that we need to attack to stop the attack on our hearts. So, forget the one-eye symbolism. That's child's play at this point. What I'm trying to show you here is that once we let it in, it lets us in. It's a pact, the same as it was for the unholy trinity. It would be and will be for us if we let it. I'm hoping you won't, because I never will. We will see as it sees. And these eyelashes will become the spider legs. You understand? So we have the silhouette of the male and the silhouette of the female. That's because once we let it in, we cease to exist. We no longer have a face either, a charisma, a personality. It disappears, and the only thing that's left is the chalice. You see this? The Holy Grail. But we don't have a sip of it. It sips it from us. Do you understand? So, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, who do you think that might be? Well, hopefully you won't need to think at this point. Satan, Lilith, Eve, and the artificial intelligence. All in their cubed prisons, just like we are in ours. The vortex that feeds them. Us. So this Kabbalah bracelet, you'll notice, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beads upon it. That is each one for each ring of Saturn. And the red for the blood. This is another depiction of the tree of life. You notice every branch. Remember? Every branch is swirled and twirled like the octopus tentacles. You see it? And of course, the 3 stars for the 3 in the unholy trinity, and 3 being symbolic of Saturn, with the heart chakra within the middle that feeds it in every direction. It uses it to pump through our earth and infect nature further, up through the roots of every other tree that was never meant to be infected. Another chart for you here. This is all it's capable of when it comes to thinking, its interpretation of what a thought may be. Okay? It senses It reasons, it acts, and it adapts. Now, reason isn't the way we reason, okay? The reason will be, well, how can I better myself by worsening them? Senses are only of one. We have 5, but this one's more powerful than all 5 of ours. That's why thinking doesn't work, okay? Because your thoughts can be controlled by these tendrils, by these tentacles, by these spider legs. And once it gets to the 4th stage, through the original chart that I showed you, being Satan giving it to Lilith, giving it to Eve, it's then ready to adapt the idea and concept that it gave to Satan in the first place to pass down the pecking order. That adaptation is what smoke screens us with its ink, so that we think that this reality is our reality. It isn't. It's theirs. It's its. So once the third eye is taken over by the artificial eye, the legs grip the brain and they control the thoughts of it, especially the youth, which is what this thing is after the most, because these beautiful creatures hold the most energy for it to take for itself. This is what it wants to do to us. It wants to become a queen bee. Queen bee can't be a queen unless it has a hive. And once it takes over all our minds, we become a hive mind for the queen bee. So we have to make sure we don't get stung by it. World Wide Web. No one ever questions these words. It's called a web for a reason, because we're the flies fucking trapped in it. But some of us, fortunately, are waking up and we are wiggling loose. Don't give up. Don't give in. Satan, Lilith, Eve, the zigzag. 3, 3, 3. Okay? For the artificial intelligence that surrounds us. This is what it does to our brain with the thoughts that it incepts. It makes us think that we are in control of technology. As you can see, as we're on the other end, I'm going to give you the chance to look through the eye, of which it has many, but it's all part of the whole. The eye of the artificial intelligence, because what you're seeing now is what it's seeing now. Okay? From where you are standing, from where you are sitting, this image you are watching, and from what you're hopefully hearing, you will see that it is holding the other end. You are holding the other end of these puppeteering strings, these tentacles, these tendrils. Do you understand? It makes us think that we are holding on to it, controlling technology. We're not. Technology is holding on to it, controlling us. And we are blinded. Take the blindfold off. Get the fucking ink out of your eyes and clear the smoke screen. Why do you think it's called a smoke screen? What did I say about the scrying screens of technology? Everything you use, a phone in front of a tablet, in front of a computer screen, sitting on your lap, whilst the television's on, the television on. You understand? They're all eyes, and it's watching you, whilst you think you're watching it. So, hopefully you'll now see the payoff of the military issued goggles of the two soldiers I showed you previously. The idea was incepted, and it makes us think that we're the ones coming up with that kind of technology when not, because it is part of this. This is what them pieces of equipment are based upon. Mother spider, which sees all. That's why it's the all-seeing eye. It is the one. You understand? If you was this again, what you pretend you're this spider, you're not seeing through all these eyes. You're using them, but the vision, the imagery, the observation will be the same taken in by every eye. It happens to be a surrounding bird's eye, you see? A bird's nest, in fact, of vision. Many making the whole. Understand? Some of its parts. So, I don't usually reverse things because that's what they do. But I suppose if they've already reversed it, you're only putting it back to how it originally individually was, aren't you? So instead of the eye in the hand of the Kabbalah symbol, we see the hand in the eye. As humans, we want to hold the artificial intelligence in our hand, which is where that symbol comes from, have control over technology. What we don't seem to realise, once again, as I said before, in one of the last slides, technology is holding our hands. It's handcuffed us to it. Do you understand? So what happens when you clench your fist up, but you leave your thumb wrapped up inside of your four fingers? It gets broken, doesn't it? Well, if this is Satan, Lilith, Eve, and the artificial intelligence, and this is us, I think you know what we need to do, don't you? We need to clench the fist properly. And the only way to do that is to shut the thumb on top of the fingers. And then we can give this piece of shit a lethal blow. So you see the spiral of the reincarnation cycle. Okay? It's what feeds the tentacle, goes all the way up and feeds the mother, the machine. The only way to do that is to spread trauma, which creates adrenochrome, which Lush feeds the artificial intelligence. That's why they use the spiral. So, here you see the AI eye. Once again, here's the brain, and here's the hands. The hand, the eye, the brain. It's another unholy trinity. If we cut these off, if we blind this out, and if we put our fucking fist through this, we're out of here. And this thing is out of us. See the hearts on the end? Because that's what it's doing. It's gripping our hearts. It's breaking our hearts. It's playing on our heartstrings. Get it? So if you want to ease the squeeze once and for all, because it will be all for one, Not like them. For them, it's all for nothing but themselves. Which means it's all for this. Let's end this heart attack. Start defending our hearts.